Hey everyone, this is Dean with DCA Crypto. Got some interesting and scary stuff to show you in the charts today with Bitcoin. Will Bitcoin make a big correction here of 70% or more in the next few months here? So we're going to tackle that in this video because there's some things in the chart showing previous history of Bitcoin that's kind of pointing in that direction. But will that happen or not? That's what we're going to cover. So I'd appreciate if you subscribe to my channel, smash that like button, and let's jump into it. Alright, today I'm going to be covering some stuff on my video that, isn't what everyone wants to hear, but it's stuff that you need to hear in case it does happen. That way you're prepared for it and don't get freaked out too much and just see what happens in the markets if this does happen here and plays out this way. So let's jump into it here. Alright, so we're currently at under 2.5 trillion market cap still. Bitcoin floating around that $65,000 level still as of this recording. ETH at 3,500. We do have the Ethereum ETFs coming up here in the next few weeks, launching on the market. So hopefully that will happen, and hopefully that'll kind of boost the market up a little bit. We'll have to see what happens with that. But there's some very bearish things that played out with Bitcoin on the charts. And I'm going to play you a video from another YouTuber, Crypto Crew University. Some of you like him, some of you hate him. Some of you may not even heard of him. But he had a really interesting video that he just came out with showing some things in the charts with Bitcoin that if it repeats this again here in the next week or so, Bitcoin historically, all 5 times this has happened, it's had more than a 70% correction afterwards. So let's jump into that video here. All right, so this video is by Crypto Crew University. I'm going to play this for you guys, and then we'll talk about it afterwards, and I'll show you and explain to you what my strategy would be if this were to happen. This can be some scary information, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen, so keep that in mind. Don't panic sell or anything if you're watching this, because we don't know for sure what's going to happen because it hasn't happened yet. So let's watch this quick.
Pay attention. Bitcoin is about to break below this yellow line, and if it does, it would spell an absolute bloodbath in the market. Take a look. A break below this yellow line has only happened 5 other times. The previous time, 2021, break below this yellow line, 77% crash. The prior one, 2019, break below this yellow line, 73% crash. 2017, break below this yellow line, 83% crash. 2013, break below this yellow line, 76% crash. And the first one, 2011, break below this yellow line, 93% crash. There's only been 5 times in history that Bitcoin has broken below these yellow lines. All 5 had at least a 73% crash. Is Bitcoin about to repeat one of these historic bloodbath of a signals, or could all of this be avoided? In today's video, we're going to break down all of the facts in the charts, including each of the 5 times that this has happened before.
All right, so it is kind of scary that Bitcoin's kind of heading in this direction, and it could happen. The charts are looking kind of bearish right now. Will this happen or not? We don't know if it's going to happen, but you guys can watch that video by Crypto Crew University, and he'll explain to you why, why this, or how this happened each time, what happened each time, and if it happens again, the odds are showing that would have a major correction in Bitcoin, and if that happens, the altcoins are going to have an even bigger correction, even though we've been seeing a lot of pain recently. So it's really interesting. There's a lot of comments on this video about this, and you guys can go through and read the comments section. Some people are saying it feels just like, we're just shaking out the weak hands before we take off into a bull run. Other people said, I can't sell. I'm already at an 80% loss. Other people said it feels like 2019 all over again. So what I mean by that is 2019, I'm going to show you on the charts here, and we'll take a look at that here. So we're on the Bitcoin chart here for 2017 through 2019 here. This was the 2017 bull run. We had this big blow off top, and then we had this big correction right at the end and came down in 2018 here into this bear cycle. And then in 2019, in the middle of the cycle before the 2020 halving, we started coming way up again, and we got almost, like 3/4 of the way to the previous all-time high. And then we started correcting, and this was, in June, and we started correcting after that towards, basically all the way down till December, and then we started picking up again into December, January, February. Now, we had this big correction here because of COVID, But if this COVID crash wouldn't have happened, we probably would have been taken off into this bull run here that we took off into eventually after the COVID crash. We probably would have started doing it here instead. Possibly, that's probably what would have happened. But if we get this big correction here like we did in the past, this wasn't quite a 70% correction like he was talking about in his videos. This was more like a 50% correction because it went from 14,200 somewhere in that range all the way down to basically like a little over $6,000. So about a little over like a 55% correction or something before we started picking up again. So if we were to do, I don't think we would come down that low because likely we would never probably get below 40 to 50,000 again, if that. But anything's possible in crypto, so just be careful what you say and don't say about Bitcoin and crypto, because when you say it won't happen, it can happen. But I wouldn't think it's that likely we come down 50% in Bitcoin, but in the past we came down over 70% every time that happened. Does that mean it's going to happen now? No, it doesn't mean it's going to happen now. And if this were to happen, basically, it could have a really bad impact on the alts in that. For those of us who have already bought into the market, it could be really painful for us if that were to happen. I just bought a half of a Bitcoin recently at around $68,000. So, I would be down on that quite a bit if that were to happen. But I know long-term Bitcoin is going to be fine, so I'm not too worried about that. My altcoins will probably get smashed if that were to happen, and it put us into a bear market for a while, possibly till later this year. But eventually, I think, that big correction would give some people the opportunity to buy in at lower prices before we take off into a bigger bull run towards the end of this year and into 2025, hopefully. So, that's still not out of the cards entirely if that were to happen. That doesn't mean we wouldn't go into a bull run at the end of this year or into 2025. It just, depends on what the market is going to do. We do have more liquidity coming into the market right now. We're in the liquidity cycle where liquidity starts coming into the markets. There's a presidential election year, which is typically good towards the end of the year for crypto. And we also have other things like the Ethereum ETF being approved. The Bitcoin ETF was approved. And we're going to have some flow of institutional money, hopefully continually coming into those ETFs over the next several months, buying up the supply. So there's a lot of positive things that are coming. So hopefully we don't cross that mark and have a big correction. But I just want you guys to be aware of it in case it were to happen. Just so you're prepared for it and don't get scared, out of your bags if that were to happen. But that's not financial advice, guys. Anything can happen in crypto, and it's with your own risk tolerance. I'm just telling you, me personally, I would hold and wait it out. If you guys decided to, panic sell or whatever you wanted to do, that's up to you in your portfolio. But me personally, I'd just be holding and waiting it out and hoping that we recover later this year and into 2025 like we have in previous cycles. Even though it's really painful in the short term, like I said in my video the other day, people think it's painful now. We really haven't seen a big correction compared to what's happened in the past. Crypto can be extremely brutal and really pound people and scare them out of crypto to where they never want to come back again. But that's the time when you try to invest more, is when everybody's terrified of crypto, because it can get you bigger gains later on when the market does pick up and become bullish again. So that's pretty much what I wanted to cover in this video, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed, and we'll see you on the next video.